Alright guys, welcome to today's video. As I told you yesterday, there's so much going on today, but one of the first things I wanted to do, last night I kind of had a little bit of an epiphany. I was taking a shower and I was like thinking about all the issues that the Chaser had, and it sounded like it was a little bit too rich or it had too much fuel. So I was thinking, this car doesn't have a stock fuel pressure regulator anymore. What if the fuel pressure is too high? Base pressure on 1Js is supposed to be around 42 to 43 PSI. And if you look at the fuel pressure gauge, when I unplug the vacuum line, we're seeing about like 55 pounds of base pressure, which is way too high. And that's why the car was kind of fouling out and doing weird stuff and being kind of lazy. So I'll adjust that real quick and then watch how much better it's gonna rev and drive. That's probably also why it was stalling when it was revving before, which was an issue I didn't really talk about in the video. All right, let's see how it revs now. Way better.
Really?
Doesn't want to stall anymore either, which means I can lower the idle back down.
Sick.
Yeah, I had the idle set like super high. I kind of want to drive around the block real quick. You want to go for a ride?
Yeah, let me get some out the...
Okay. It still seems like it might be a little rich. But it definitely runs way better now with the extra fuel. Oh my god, dude, the gate opens so
Early.
I'm gonna wait till we turn around. Are you ready? That's loud.
Loud as hell.
It's not bad.
No.
Dude, third sounds so weird, doesn't it?
It like grinds a little. Does it grind?
I can't tell if it grinds or if it's got like a dog ear.
Let's listen, let's listen. That time it worked right.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. The car feels good though. Like it doesn't feel super fast, but it doesn't feel slow anymore. So
What spring's in that wastegate?
like a 14-pound spring, I think, but we gotta hook up a boost gauge to check.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more like a 12-pound.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Took a little while, but you guys know the stock wheels. Gonna have to go. Thought one of these wheels would look pretty cool in here. Boom. Not a fan of the quick release and hub setup on this thing. I'd prefer just a WorkSpell hub, but they were out of stock and I just wanted something in this car ASAP because stock wheels are gross. But it's pretty rad now. Got a little shift boot on, different shift knob. Car's starting to feel nice. It's been one hectic day, but while we've been toying around with stuff on the Chaser and while I've been doing stuff in the office and on the Supra, which I slammed now and I'll show you guys in a little bit, Alberto's been doing the final touches on the Z, which I think is almost ready to start. Is she ready?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so do we have Ignite in here? Because this car isn't gonna be running
Yes,
this.
I just put Ignite. I drained all the stock fuel out. I put like 12 gallons of Ignite in there.
So this car is on 1200 CCG injectors, still on a stock tune with some giant turbos in the hood. There's a chance it might not start, but hopefully we can just play with the fuel pressure enough to get that happy mixture and get it to turn over.
Yeah, I primed the system. I didn't see any leaks.
That's good.
So far we're good. We just have to like turn on the engine and make sure we don't have any oil leaks.
Does it have oil?
Yes.
Does the plenum have water in it?
Yes.
Has that system been tested?
Yeah, just now.
And it works? It's cool?
Well, we don't have ice in it. We just have water.
Ice is in there.
Yeah.
So, all right, should we try to start it?
Yeah, do it.
I'm curious what it's gonna sound like.
All right, here you go.
Uh-oh. You want me to turn the jump box on? The jump pack?
It's on. I think it's dead.
Yeah, we only have 11.6 volts on it. New battery, take two. Will it start? I hear fuel pressure. It sounds good! That doesn't sound like a trumpet.
I got a secret in store for you. You're gonna love this.
So I want to take an infrared heat gun to show you guys how cold this is right now. If you don't see it frosting on the side, that is sick. Put your hand on the Shulman. Shulman, put your tongue to it. If it sticks, put the side. This is where the actual like water to air intercooler is.
Oh my god.
How sick is that?
Sick. Put it in the fridge.
Yeah, I know, for sure. Who needs an intercooler when you have an ice cooler? Rumor has it Shulman's White Claw is still in there somewhere. Alright, so apparently this trick derives from Forsberg, who accidentally left his turbo speed sensors out because, yeah, the Garretts come with speed sensors, so you can put a like turbine wheel gauge on to see if you're overspinning the turbo. Apparently, if you pull these out, it creates a super, super tiny boost leak and creates like a jet engine whistle. So even though we have a million things that we should be doing right now because we're running late to the dyno, Alberbo insists. I mean, honestly, these turbos will make so much.
How much you wanna bet people are gonna be typing my name like that on the comments?
Alberbo?
No, it's not a thing.
Alberbo.
That's the new one, Alberbo.
Alberbo boost? So, I mean, honestly, these turbos are gonna flow so much that maybe we should create a purposeful boost leak just to have the sound and have it tuned like this, because that would be kind of funny.
More one?
Yeah, so this little itty bitty hole is, I mean, that's a pretty big hole, don't you think? I wonder how this works. Yeah, that's a pretty big boost leak. So cool. It's honestly not that much louder like that though. I don't think we need to do that. What? I was telling you guys, got the Super Slam now. Just had it aligned by PSI. They've got an alignment rack now. Look how good that thing looks. Slammed. It's a sick daily. All right, gonna take a thumbnail real quick for yesterday's video. Kind of what we got done. Jaster interior, Shulman got very, very clean. I still gotta throw the back seat in, but looks way, way, way better now, especially outside. Still gotta throw the dash back in and stuff, but this thing's starting to look like a nice car. Yo, this thing is so ridiculous. Obviously, we don't have wheels for it yet. These are just kind of like temporary setups so we don't spin on the dyno, but I took the NT ones that used to be on my Mustang and put them on the back of the Z. In a new clutch. Dude, that thing's probably hard to drive. That clutch will handle like 1,500 foot-pounds of torque.
It's the best we can buy, I think.
So you have to crawl out of the window.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, Alberto does.
Yeah. What? Window?
Alberto's like, I'm staying in here.
Your dad.
I've gotten stuck so many times trying to get out of the Z. Wait, could he go through the hatch if he needed to?
Follow. Can you put the
Wheels or
Hey, what we can do if we don't want Alberto to suffer too much, we can let the car roll back so we can open the door. Or we can...
or let him suffer.
Wow!
He's been doing yoga with Sharon.
You get a thick fit.
Wow. We should probably put the coolant cap on, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so we are fortunate enough to have one of the coolest guys in the world. You guys already know Martin from RS Enthalpy, willing to drive out from Tampa to meet us in Orlando because we've had such a hectic schedule. We're going to meet at Titan, and Otto's hanging out after hours. Again, another awesome dude helping us make this happen and make this possible. So we're all gonna go there and hopefully get the Z tuned up. I know it's gonna make power. I am nervous about it blowing up.
I think it'll be fine.
You think?
It won't be.
I know Martin wants to make a lot of flames, and I'm scared that all those flames and pops and bangs are what's gonna blow it up.
Flames and pops and bangs.
Yeah, I mean they're sick, but
I think she'll be alright.
yo, the Supra looks so sick all low. Shulman's driving the Supra over to Titan to drop it off because I gotta edit a video in the truck. That's sick.
He was right about lowering it more.
Yeah. Okay, so
Definitely looks better.
that's pretty much as low as it goes in the back, and then in the front, it's like almost as low as it can go. All right, we made it to Titan, home of some of the fastest Supras and GTRs and crazy drag racing stuff in Florida. But as you guys know from my other video, now they're starting to get known for their A90 Supra stuff. So we're actually dropping off my car here. Look at this thing, it looks so good, so low. Got a black one over here, and they've got another one in here. So what's going on? What are you gonna do to my car? Make it faster?
We're gonna definitely make it faster. We're gonna put a nice meth injection kit on there. Try to make all the horsepower. All of it.
So my car's still stock right now, but they needed a car to install their new meth kit on and film like a instructional video on like kind of the covering the install. So since my car's stock, it worked out perfectly, and then I don't have to do the meth kit, so.
Nope. Works out for both of us.
Cool.
I like it.
So thank you for letting us use the dyno, by the way. I'm very excited to spit fireballs into the sky.
She does.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So we're here with Martin, RS Enthalpy. So you've kind of been involved since day one, since I came up with this crazy idea, guiding me along and telling me what to do on it.
Yep.
So you haven't even seen the car in person yet, huh?
I haven't, but we're walking over right now.
Yeah, let's go look at it.
Check this out.
He's laughing on the way over.
Oh my god. There's so much going on up here. Wow. There's so much going on up here.
Martin's been so excited to tune this. He like cleared the whole week. He's like, we're gonna get this thing ripping.
Oh my goodness. This is awesome. The fab work is great. This looks really wild.
Has this been done on a Z before?
I've never seen anything like this.
This is like LS stuff. But
Yeah, this is definitely this reminds me a little bit of Cletus's car.
that's what we're going for. We call it Z-Roy.
Oh, really?
So
I've seen a top mount kit, but it was done by Royalty, I think. Royalty Performance. They did one very similar to this, and got tuned up in Georgia, and they got very good numbers. But that was definitely not as exciting looking out the hood like this. I mean, they did it in a OEM fitting under the crash bar.
yeah, that's too hard.
Yeah, that was very. That was basically so the hood would shut. This is a whole different level.
The biggest smile on your face. How wild does it look from in the car? Yo, this clutch is gnarly. Alberto, how much power will this clutch hold?
1,500 pounds of torque.
1,500 foot-pounds of torque?
Feels so
What
good.
the heck? Yeah, it feels good until you gotta drive it onto a dyno and you look like a fool. This thing runs like stock. It's sick.
You know, it's good. I mean, it's done right. Everything is ready to go, man. Cars running like factory.
Fingers crossed.
With all this crazy stuff on top. to see a turbo kit build that much boost that quick. It was hitting 15, 16 psi, around 3,500 RPM.
With twins.
Yeah.
So the only problem with that is it was making over 600 foot-pounds of torque, and that's like danger territory for the rods. So we might need to swap out the springs a little lower.
I'm not seeing things. I was like, what's wrong with the dyno chart? And then so those numbers are true.
Yeah, so this thing made, wow,
This is mind-boggling.
630 foot-pounds of torque.
There's no way. I thought it was like, oh, it has no
This thing's
back
gonna
pressure or whatever.
party.
Like, it's gonna be boggy.
I told you that was right.
Oh my god, it's gonna keep going too.
Not have enough back pressure because it was too open of a valve.
Yo, how absurd is it that it's making 500 foot-pounds of torque below 4 grand? We might need to go to some softer springs, it's sounding like, but we're gonna give it another try. We played with the boost control a little bit just in case it was interfering. Over 600 foot-pounds of torque is dangerous for these engines, so we'll see. Better, 590 foot-pounds of torque, 640 horsepower. That was only to 6 grand? Noticed a little puddle under the car and it turned out to be oil, so we're at a standstill for the next little bit. Hopefully it's not something major. You think maybe there's too much crankcase pressure? Did we forget a catch can?
The valve covers are wide open. Like there's nothing in the valve cover.
What do you mean?
They're straight just open now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yep, you're good to start it.
Wait, let him finish first.
Let him wipe it off first.
So the car definitely has a leak. It looks like it's coming from the front main. It's not too bad. We leaked about 3/4 of a quart in, I'd say, probably the time from the shop to here. So I think we'll have enough to run it as long as we keep an eye on it. Get this thing tuned and then we can fix that up at a later date. So I think should party. Martin, do you think that these springs are gonna be okay, or do you think it's still too much torque? I mean, that last pull was 12.5 pounds. We just didn't see the torque because the dyno wasn't on.
So once we get a reading, we'll make a judgment once we get a reading finally.
Sick.
Now that the boost is where it's supposed to be.
Torque is still almost 600. That's some crazy power though.
You got fuel back up top.
The only issue is I'm worried about that torque number being too high. Funny enough, we might actually do that trick of pulling the speed sensors from the turbos, purely because changing the springs right now with the car hot would suck, and it's making too much power. So it's not even at red line yet. The power's still climbing, and it's already at 675 horsepower, which is absurd. The record is over 800, but if we want this thing to live at rev limiter and do sick burnouts, probably not a good idea to make that much power. And Martin, what is this at right now, like 13 pounds?
This is about 13 PSI.
13 PSI, and we're making 675 with,
I let off at about,
yo,
I let off at 6,500.
600 foot-pounds of torque at 3,600 RPM. That's insane. In case you're curious, these are G25 550s, and this VQ right now, currently, like, that's, I feel like on a GTR, like a R35,
Yeah.
do they spool this fast?
No.
That's absurd. Is it because it's an NA engine and it's higher compression, or what?
It could be that is definitely a key factor, but I mean, you got a little leak. Don't worry about that. But that's definitely definitely help it out to spool a lot faster. But I feel like these turbos are definitely doing a lot of work.
That's sick. the boost leaks can't affect the Garretts. They're still making the same torque and even more power. Jeez. All right, let's see what springs we have. Right now this is a 12 PSI spring setup, but the cool thing is we can just pull out that inner spring and then we'll have, what is this, about half a bar, Alberto?
Yes.
So that's like a 7.5 PSI spring. So we should be able to use that, get our good burnout map, and then maybe have like a higher boost setting for like quarter mile stuff that's closer to like 10 to 12 PSI, and hopefully still keep that torque in a safe range. At least it's a soft spring, so it's easier to put together, right?
Yeah, not with the pipe and the fitting still on it.
New springs are in. We should be around 10 PSI now. Let's see what she makes. Let's see if she's happy. We were starting to run out of fuel. We have a very low base pressure of like 42 PSI. We'll probably raise that, but we'll see what she does. We got the torque to exactly where we wanted it to be, and we're still making 677 horsepower. What the f***? That's insane, dude.
They lower the torque like 100 pounds, and then the horsepower is still that's pretty good.
That's like a half a bar. And Martin still has no timing in the engine too, so it could be way more than that if we wanted it to be. That's a super safe, nearly 700 horsepower.
Actually, from about 6,000, you went from 11 pounds of boost to about 17 pounds of boost.
That's weird.
Yeah, so you had a boost spike within almost 1,000, a little over 1,000 RPM.
I wonder if he set up the boost controller to do that.
Well, yeah, you did mess with.
So why would it do that, you think?
Unless like the gain is pretty big.
There's no gain. The boost controller's not hooked up.
Never turned all that back
Swing
on.
pressure from the manifold.
What would cause that? Appears as if we still have the boost creep, but it's actually okay because it's letting us keep that lower torque number and making that power up top. So what it looks like is up top it's kind of creeping, probably because we have dual 38 mil wastegates instead of 44. So it's not able to let all the exhaust gas out that we need to go out, and it's still spooling the turbo more than we need it. So we could change to 44s, or we could just leave it, let it creep a little bit. It's only creeping to 16 PSI, and it's kind of giving us that that lower torque number and letting the power keep going up. So it actually works. A lot of times with boost controllers, you actually do that on purpose, kind of ramp the boost in slow. But instead we have wastegate setup that actually does that for us. It's cool. Anti-lag so I can dump straight forth. So we gotta get the turbo spool enough to get enough power so we can dump forth with some skinnies on the back. Let's see what he can do. Smile on this man's face. He's loving this right now. There's so much cool stuff you can do with a factory ECU. That's anti-lag that we can adjust on the steering wheel. Now he's just rolling anti-lag.
rotary! I love 370Zs. That's so far away! That's scared of fire. 100%, this thing is everything I thought it would be and more. I didn't think that it would spool so quick. I didn't think it would make this much power. Like, that's insane. So, Martin basically made two different maps for us, one with a lot of fire, one with not a lot of fire.
Yes, map 1 and map 2, so we set it up so you have some fireworks if you want them, and no fireworks if you don't.
The only thing I'm a little worried about is, well, I should say both of us are worried about, is on the burnout, getting those manifolds glowing. So there's a possibility Martin might actually come out when we do our debut at Cleetus and Cars to help me log it, make sure everything's okay.
Yep, adjust everything so when he's sitting on limiter, we don't have any problems.
Because I'm asking him, I'm like, hey, can I go durr, or can I go rrr, or should I just go rrr, rrr, rrr? But he doesn't know. It's not a common question. Matt's been just shaking his head this entire night. No, like you could either go like rrr, or rrr, 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 you know? It's like ideally we just
Like,
yeah, no, that's what we want.
I just send it. Like,
Yep. Yep, yeah, no, Shulman's got the idea.
but no sound effect.
I think the craziest thing about this whole situation too that we've neglected to really reinforce, this is a bone stock unopened long block with, how many miles are on this chassis? Like 130,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Stock head gasket, stock studs, stock bottom end, stock head. Stack is heck. Absurd. I'm a little nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
Because I can't see.
Why can't you see?
It's actually not that bad. I thought it would be worse. Am I good to send it?
Send it.
This thing's fast. The gears go by so quick, huh? The power band makes a lot of traction too. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah, good tires on the back of this thing.
Yeah. It's better than I thought.
Here's the business end.
Well, this thing definitely needs an alignment pretty bad. You start braking, the car like starts wanting to go to the side. Jeez! Wow, these tires look. Why's that guy flashing his lights?
Because you got fire coming out of your hood.
This thing is so ridiculous. Alright, in the trailer she goes. Wait, actually, you should show me how to use the launch control real quick.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, all you've got to do, put it in first gear,
Okay.
and then smash the gas all the way to the floor, 100%.
And how would I raise that if I wanted to?
With the cruise control one,
When? Just now?
as it's doing it.
Okay, so I go. That's pretty sick.
The rolling anti-lag, all you've got to do is hold down cancel
While I'm rolling.
while you're rolling over 3,000 RPMs, over 10 miles an hour.
So, and then do I floor it while I do that?
Yes, 100% of the ground.
Okay. Interesting. Cancel. That's sick.
Oh yeah. Jesus. God almighty. What? Jesus Christ. I'm hanging on really tight.
What's up?
I'm hanging on real tight.
You ready?
Uh-huh. Freaking Jesus.
How nuts is this?
Dude, what the hell is this thing? It has arms.
I wish I was filming your reaction. All right, try to do that again. You give me some credit for driving it now?
Yeah.
This clutch is gnarly.
When you said